So XRP approaching all-time highs as we speak. We are finally vindicated once again. All the XRP haters can shove it, and we're going to talk about some news today. But I want to discuss some good news over here, but some also news that might annoy you depending on how you think about it.
XRP 홀더분들 축하드립니다. 드디어 신고가 근처로 올라왔는데요. 8년차 트레이더 코너는 좋은 소식 그리고 조금 아쉬운 소식이 있다고 합니다. 또 분석을 통해 가격 전망도 함께 알아보겠습니다.
We can see here Ripple co-founder Chris Larson's crypto wallet transferred approximately 26 million worth of XRP to Coinbase this week. It remains unclear whether the funds have been sold since the beginning of the year. The wallet has transferred a total of 106 million XRP. 106 million XRP. XRP recently surged to a 7-month high, approaching its all-time peak of $3.40, guys. So, is Chris Larson absolutely nuking the chart every time we move up? Let me know what you think about that in the comment section, because I know a lot of people will say yes, and then a lot of people will say no. With that said, right now we have XRP absolutely rocketing. We are above all of the resistance that we have drawn recently. We were bouncing between these two, we broke above it, we flipped it into a support. We were bouncing between these two, we broke above it, we flipped it into a support, and now we're above the final level of resistance. We still do, of course, have this all-time high sitting here, $3.37. So let's do ourselves a favor, and now that we're up here and it's in sight, we can chuck it in. So can XRP break that? With that said, let's move on to what I would consider the good news, which is XRP has just flipped the entire South Korean market. That's $500 million in volume in 24 hours. Number one on Upbit, according to Rip Bull Winkle here. That's not noise, it's positioning, according to him. So people are potentially positioning themselves right now for a further move of XRP. So we have $500 million of volume on Upbit, but we also have the co-founder Chris Larson here transferring millions of dollars to Coinbase. Is he selling preemptively? Does he know there's going to be a pullback coming, or is he simply just holding his money there? Again, I want you guys to tell me what you think down there in the description. On a technical level though, I do think right now we're going to have more of a move to the upside. However, we may get rejected at $3.37. That's why it's always important to follow your own strategies. My strategy is, of course, to take profits when I see euphoria. That is why just before filming this video, I actually took some profits from my XRP trade here. I know that's going to make a lot of people angry, but remember, these trades are here for my cash flow. When I see euphoria, I get some cash flow, right? I have my spot bag of XRP, which I've only continued to accumulate, and I'm still not selling that right now. However, if something changes, I will let you guys know. Now, if we look at Bitcoin's price right now, 118,000, it continues to move to the upside, having a little bit of a pullback right now as we speak. There is a support, of course, at about $117,000 right now. But what's more important than Bitcoin? Because actually, when we see alt season, we see Bitcoin's price rise, but we actually see Bitcoin go sideways, if not a little bit down. What's actually more important is Bitcoin's dominance. Building up from earlier today's video, we're down now 5.36%. That's half the way to this move here, which of course sent XRP up over 400%. In total, it was like 600% with an 11% move to the downside for the dominance. And guys, just look at this monster of a move to the downside for Bitcoin's dominance last bull run. 46% down. That's when we saw a proper alt season, and our last proper alt season. That dwarfs this 11% move back in the end of 2024. And look at what that tiny little move did, right? 450%. So that's the important chart to look at, in my opinion. Also taking a look at the total too, which is basically everything excluding Bitcoin. You can see that's absolutely rocketing now that dominance is falling, and we can see the altcoin season index is moving to the upside. Now, all of this is happening while, as well as the XRP news, we have news like Tron hits a new all-time high in revenue for Q2 2025. We also see, according to Lark Davis, that Solana's chart looks primed, and $175 is a major area of price control on the weekly charts. So a breakout here could be the start of a rally to new highs. So the big, large caps starting to wake up. That was always my thesis and my plan. That's what I was expecting, and XRP was also included in that, along with Solana. Ethereum, XRP, Sui, and of course Bitcoin. And recently I've got a little bit more risk on with my trades, adding Cardano, Casper, Doge, DOT, and AVAX, all with over $1,000 of profit. Cardano actually in $2,000 of profit, using only about 1,300 of margin in each of these trades. So I'm very happy with these trades. I'm very happy with how the liquidity is flowing. Remember, the idea is money flows from Bitcoin into Ethereum and then into the larger caps, or all the while, right? It seems that it is flowing into the larger caps right now and then trickling down into those smaller caps. So right now I have access to the large cap, which is Bitcoin, slightly smaller cap, Ethereum, the larger cap altcoins, Ethereum, Solana, all of those, and then the more risky plays, the Suis, the Caspers, the Cardanos, and that sort of thing. And that's how I'm positioning myself right now. This will probably change if the liquidity continues, if we continue to move into an alt season as told by the alt season index, if Bitcoin's dominance continues to fall, and I'll keep you guys fully up to date with what I am doing. Congratulations to everyone who's held XRP up until now. It's looking great, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.